Hey guys! Today I'm going to show you a grocery haul from one of my favorite grocery stores called Sunset Foods. It is a chain, but it's a small chain. I think there are about 5 stores in our area, and it is my all-time favorite grocery store. Frankly, if I could afford it, it's probably the grocery store I would shop at exclusively, but I do look for deals at other stores about once a month. So without further ado, let me show you my haul. Hey guys, back from the grocery store. I have the cold items set out here, and I will show you these and then get them put away because I want them to get in the fridge as soon as possible, and then I will put out the pantry staple items to show you. So let's get started. I first picked up this tofu. This is the brand of tofu that my store carries. I have no particular allegiance to it, but I needed extra firm tofu for a recipe this week, so I picked that up. I also grabbed a couple of just prepared meals. It's getting quite late, so I thought this looked good for lunch. It is a Chinese red peanut tofu bowl with, it looks like some spinach and carrots and some shredded cabbage. It looks very good. I will give you guys a review next week if I remember. I also picked up for my husband for a quick meal for him some barbecue chicken wings. He is a wing fan, so he probably will like these, I would think, although we've never tried them from Sunset before, so hopefully they're good. I also picked up some ground chicken. We've never tried this ground chicken brand before. We've tried chicken breasts. This is actually the Miller Amish Country Poultry is the chicken breast brand that we like the best, so I figured we would give their ground chicken a try. Hopefully it's good. I also picked up a bunch of Chobani yogurts. This less sugar Greek yogurt is what I eat for breakfast every morning, so I picked up a couple mango, a couple cherry, a couple raspberry, and a couple blueberry. I picked up several different kinds of cheeses for recipes that I need this week. This is a shredded Romano. I picked up some sliced provolone cheese. Again, I need this for a recipe that I'm making, but we can also use it for sandwiches or burgers as soon as we finish using it for a recipe. I picked up some mozzarella in a block. Again, need this for a recipe, but also can use it for salads if we don't use the whole thing for the recipe that I'm making. For my husband's lunches this week, I picked up a couple different kinds of prepackaged boar's head lunch meat. This is the brand that he prefers. I picked up a honey maple ham and a oven gold turkey breast for him. They've been doing this since COVID, putting these prepackaged things together, and frankly I like it better because it just means I don't have to sit at the deli for 10 minutes waiting for them to slice my meat. Anyone else's deli take like 10 minutes no matter how many people are in line? It just seems crazy. This egg package here, I have no idea how it got in my cart. I did not pick these up. The eggs look beautiful and I'm thrilled to have them, but it is definitely not something I purchased, so thank you Sunset for the free eggs, I guess. I should check my receipt and make sure that I didn't actually get charged for them, but yeah, didn't pick them up, but they look fantastic, so we will definitely be eating those. These are the eggs I actually purchased. We definitely go through a lot of eggs in this house, so always nice to have these on hand. I picked up some orange juice and milk for my husband. He drinks this 50% lower sugar orange juice and any kind of fat-free milk. He's not particular about which brand. It's usually whatever's on sale. Since we have a shorter week this week, until we go to the grocery store next, I just picked up a smaller thing. We usually get a gallon jug for him. I have a recipe this week that calls for heavy whipping cream, so I got heavy whipping cream, and I also have a recipe that calls for whole milk, so I got some whole milk. Moving on to produce then. Okay, so I actually got the dairy cleaned up and put away. It was just getting too hot, so I thought we could get that cleaned up and give us a little bit more space to go through the rest of the stuff. One thing we got is bananas. We get these every week. My husband and I both eat them as fruit. We also got a few oranges. Again, these are just a good fruit to have on hand and a reasonable price always. I also picked up this ground ginger paste. I typically pick up fresh ginger, but frankly, you know, I'll use a tiny bit for a recipe and then it goes bad in the fridge. So I thought I would try this ginger paste and see if it is good in recipes and is a good substitute for fresh ginger, just because I'm sick of buying the actual root and using just a little bit and then having to toss it and buy a new one. So we'll give that a try. I picked up a couple onions. These are for a couple recipes that I have this week. The same thing for the lemons. I picked up a couple lemons for recipes that I have this week. I picked up a bunch of parsley. 4 recipes this week. I also picked up chives and green onions for some recipes that I have this week. Picked up baby carrots. I eat these in salads pretty much every day, so I always have some baby carrots on hand. I also picked up some regular carrots here. These don't have tops on them, but otherwise are whole carrots. I'm going to make a sort of carrot salad recipe for lunch this week, so I wanted to have some sort of whole form carrots because I know they do taste different than the baby carrots. I actually think they taste closer to what a carrot is supposed to taste like, so I picked up a whole bunch of those. Picked up some celery. Again, that's for a recipe that I'm making later this week. I also picked up a whole bunch of broccoli. I think I picked up 3 large heads of broccoli. I need broccoli for 2 recipes, and we often eat roasted broccoli just as a side for dinners that we're making. I think it's a good, quick vegetable side. Cut it up, throw it in the oven, some seasoning on top, and some olive oil, and you have a good, easy side. I picked up some romaine hearts. Usually I actually pick up a whole head of romaine. I think it's a better deal, and I actually think the lettuce is better. But I had circled the produce aisle like 5 times by that point, and I was just sick of doing it, so I saw these and grabbed them. Anyone else? Their groceries become more convenience when you're kind of sick of wandering around the store. I also picked up a couple of peppers. Again, I use these a lot on salads pretty much every day. And they're also just good to have on hand for snacking, so we always have some of those in the house. And then the last veggie item I picked up was some asparagus. This actually just looked really good, and again, we have this often as a side, roasted, just with a little bit of salt or pepper or seasoning. All right, I'm gonna get this produce put away, and then I will get out the dry goods. Okay, last, in case you thought I was actually a healthy human being, is the unhealthy or partly unhealthy dry goods portion of the grocery haul. So first, this is one of my guilty pleasures. I love buying fun napkins, paper napkins from the grocery store. This grocery store I went to, Sunset, has the best napkins. They probably are ridiculously overpriced, but they're just so beautiful I can't resist, and they give me so much pleasure when we put them with our dinner. So I got a few fun fall patterns that I can't wait to actually put out for dinners in the next few months. I also got tahini. I need this for a sort of tofu bowl recipe that I'm making this week. I actually had to Google where tahini was in the grocery store. I had never bought it before, and I sort of assumed it was in the ethnic food aisle and couldn't find it there. Googled it, and Google, which knows everything, told me it would be by the oils, and sure enough there it was. So got some tahini for that tofu bowl recipe this week. I got some veggie stock. I always keep a bunch of different stocks on hand: beef stock, chicken stock, and veggie stock. And I was out of veggie stock, and I believe I need it for a recipe this week, so I just picked up another one of those. I grabbed some Life strawberry cereal. My husband eats cereal often for breakfast in the morning, and kind of goes back and forth between what he likes. I think this is one of the ones he likes, so I picked that up for him. I picked up some Utz Classic pretzel sticks. I have had a craving for pretzel sticks and actually haven't been able to find them in the last couple stores I've been in. So I've never tried this particular brand's pretzel sticks. I've tried their potato chips and they're delicious. So I have high hopes for the pretzel sticks. I picked up some peanuts and pistachios. I need the pistachios for a recipe this week, maybe the peanuts too, but I also put peanuts in my yogurt in the morning, or any kind of nut, frankly, just to give it a little bit of boost of protein and some crunch. I picked up a Rouse marinara sauce. This is our favorite non-homemade pasta sauce. It's actually reasonably priced, and it's really, really good. If you guys haven't tried Rouse yet, I definitely recommend that you should, because it is our favorite. I picked up a couple cans of crushed tomatoes. I am making a tomato and bean bake this week, so 2 cans of crushed tomatoes will go in that. And I also picked up some large butter beans and some Great Northern beans. Those will go in that tomato and bean bake I was talking about. And then I also picked up a can of chickpeas. This is for a carrot and chickpea salad that I'm making for lunches this week. I picked up some toasted sesame seeds. Again, this is for a recipe that I'm making this week. I picked up a jar of Jif creamy peanut butter. We actually are almost out of peanut butter, and it's just something we always have in this household. We are Jif loyal. Comment down below if you are Jif or Skippy or some other brand, but we definitely believe there's only one kind of peanut butter in this house, and that is Jif. I picked up some corn muffin mix. I make this a lot for my husband just for a side for something extra to bulk up his dinner. I've never tried this particular brand. We actually like the Dave's Killer cornbread mix the best, but decided to try this Martha White corn muffin mix. Give that a try, see what it's like. I picked up the 50% less sugar craisins. I put some craisins in my yogurt every morning, again, to give it a little bit more bulk and make it more enjoyable to eat. I also picked up a couple packs of raisins. I send raisins in my husband's lunch bag every day, so we were out of those and needed a few more. I picked up some egg dumpling noodles. I believe we need these for a recipe this week, but I always like to have these on hand as well because I use them often and we are out, so picked up another one of those. I picked up this Lewis's Nutty Oat half loaf bread. This is the kind of bread we always eat, and we are running dangerously low, so I picked up another one of those. I also picked up a sesame semolina loaf. This actually just looked really good, and I'm making broccoli toasts for dinner tonight. Funny story on this, I picked up some shortening sticks, some Crisco shortening sticks. I don't ever have Crisco in the house. I don't tend to bake with it, and I actually tend to shy away from recipes with it in it. And it was on my grocery list this week, and I will tell you, for the life of me, I have no idea why it was on the grocery list. I don't know what I was planning on baking or what recipe I saw that needed it, but I'm now the proud owner of 3 1-cup sticks, so I better find a recipe to use this for. I also picked up some cornstarch. We were out of ours, so I needed another one, so picked that up. And finally, I picked up some brownie mix. My husband's first day back at work is actually today, so I thought I would make him some brownies, and maybe if I get really inventive, we'll cut them out in a cute, happy first day sort of thing. So stay tuned for that. If I get really motivated, I will insert a photo of what they turned out like. All right, so that was the end of the grocery haul. Hope you guys enjoyed. Plan Monday. I wanted to take you along as I plan out the meals for my family for the week, what kind of thought process goes into that, and how I choose the meals that I plan. Now, the first thing I do when I plan out my meals is I take a look at our family calendar and look and see whether or not my husband is working late or if he's going to be home for dinner. If he's working late, that means that I need to pack him some sort of leftovers that he can eat while he's on the job. Obviously, if he's home, then I need to take into consideration what sort of family meal or leftovers we're going to be eating. So let's go over to the family calendar and take a look. So here we are on our very high-tech family calendar. I am a very old school girl, still love a paper and pens, colored pens to be specific, for planning. It's just how my brain works, and I love seeing things mapped out. This has also worked great for my husband because he can have kind of an idea of what we're doing as a family in times when we actually did things as a family, pre the world shutting down. So anyway, let's take a look at the calendar and see what my husband's up to this week. I think this is going to be hard to see for you guys, but what I can see is that he has work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. So we're going to need to pack him leftovers, and it's just going to be me on my own for dinner. So that's exciting for me because it means I get to try some new and interesting things. All right, step 2 now is picking out what meals we're going to eat for the week. Okay, the next step in the meal planning process is I start to write out my list. So as we noted, my husband's going to be working late on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. So I will make a note saying his initials, working late, and then leftovers for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I will then take a list that I keep all the time of what sort of leftovers we have in our freezer, so I can choose what I want to send with him to work. We're actually pretty low on leftovers. I've been doing a pretty decent job of keeping the freezer cleaned out, but I do have enough dinners here, I know, to send him with leftovers. So I will choose 3 of these dinners, to write on the list for him as leftovers that he can have this week. The next thing I will do is I will go ahead and fill in our Friday night dinner, which always is some form of pizza. It was like that when I was a kid, and it's still like that now, and my husband's not complaining because it's one of his favorite meals. And then the other unique thing about this week is we are actually going to my mom's house Friday through Sunday this week. So this week I will likely be cooking out of this cookbook. It's the Smitten Kitchen Everyday Cookbook. If you don't know her, she is a food blogger who has now come out with, I think, at least 2 cookbooks. She is just a great recipe writer, really a main focus on the ingredients kind of being the highlight of any dish. And her food photography is just gorgeous. So anyway, I'm going to take a look through this and pick, obviously, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday meals for myself the 3 days and our family on one day. So let's go ahead and take a look and I'll let you know what I find. Something that looks delicious to me for one of the nights of the week. It's broccoli melts, and it looks like some sort of toasted bread with broccoli and cheese on top. How good does that sound? I will probably choose to make this for Monday night. One of the reasons is we'll just be getting back from our trip and it looks pretty easy to make. Another reason is, as I've mentioned, my husband's not going to be here, and this is not something I think he would enjoy. So I will go ahead then and write on my list for me broccoli melts, and then I will write a little parenthetical note that this is from the Smitten Kitchen cookbook, and I'll write the page. So when I go to make it, I have an easy access to that recipe. Once I have all these set, I will go in and actually write the ingredients from the recipe onto my grocery list, which will be included in the meal plan here. Now found the second recipe that I want to make, and that is crispy tofu and broccoli with sesame peanut pesto. Again, this just looks delicious to me, and it's something that I don't know that my husband would particularly enjoy, so I'm going to go ahead and write this on Tuesday for me, again noting the cookbook it comes from and the page number. I've now found the final recipe that I'm going to make for myself while my husband's out, and that's tomato and gigantic bean bake / pizza beans. Anyone who knows how to pronounce this Gigante word, let me know in the comments down below. So again, just going to write this on the list for myself. Now, the last thing that we need to find is a recipe that we can have on Thursday night for both my husband and I. Okay, I've now found the final recipe that we're going to have on Thursday as a family, and that's meatballs marsala with egg noodles and chives. Now, one of the reasons I'm picking this is we are using marsala wine this week, which hopefully will be good by the time we have this next week, to use in the recipe, which will save us having to buy an ingredient. So I'm going to go ahead and write that out. That is our first meal plan Monday.